And for my next trick, I will make the player base happy. So, it's been a while since I was in a rant mode. I had hopes that the hotfix would make things slightly better, but to me it feels like doubling down in the same direction. Today's background footage will be my latest Mosquito Wizard, which is also a semi-bricked build now, but that's okay. Before I continue, I will disclaim to you that I do want to make a compliment sandwich. My subjective observation of SDF is that he was an innovator when no one else truly wanted to innovate. He took a risk with Dark and Darker and it paid off. The community grew very fast, and a result is sort of a compromise of push and pull between the community and SDF's vision. The thing is, Dark and Darker, for the most part, has been in a solid spot for a while now. The recent patch, 68, reinforced that belief for a significant portion of the community. The gear gap became smaller, the grind less tedious, and for the most part, everyone benefited. The recent patch, however, brought the game 5 steps back. SDF wants to focus on his vision. My question is, to whose benefit? The casuals, the regular players, or SDF himself? For example, SDF said, I want lightweight fighters to be able to achieve the punching power of a heavyweight fighter through effort. Except we are in a stage where heavyweight fighter is a guy who ate one burger, maybe two. There are no heavyweight fighters. You want to make drastic changes to the game, yet you do not respect the time of the players. You have built a questing system which rewards the players for their time investment, and instead of doing these changes at the start or at the end of the wipe, you make all that time investment meaningless. Why should Copperlight gear become the best gear in the game? On a whim, just like that. I am also curious, what is the purpose of the test servers? I understand that SDF wants to renovate his house, but don't expect anyone to live in that house until the work is finished. Trust is hard earned, easily lost. I hope that most people realize this, that the latest changes are so focused on one singular thing, they completely disregard Dark and Darker as a whole system by itself. It kind of reminds me of my anecdotal struggles when first learning to drive. I was driving with my instructor. I saw the sign for speed limit of 70, so I drove at 70. My focus on driving at 70 resulted with me getting dangerously close to the car in front of me, which was going slower. See, I was so focused on one singular thing, following one single rule, it made me unable to grasp the big picture as a whole. Case in point, with the recent patch, you decide to remove the most unpopular roles. I assume to close the gear gap even further, but you forget that it kills build variety and creative expression. Debuff duration cleric, gone. Permanent dark offering warlock, gone. Regular interaction trap builds or even mining builds, gone. Debuff duration Xerxes Eye, gone. Buff duration was useful on almost every single class in the game, yet somehow it's worth removing. And these were all niche builds. As far as I know, none of them defined the meta. Maybe Xerxes Eye during multiclassing, but that's about it. These changes just make Dark and Darker so bare bones. We have reached a point where players would rather play playtests 2 and 3 than this. People love extraction games for the risk and the reward. So who benefits when that is taken away? SDF. It's time to do actual work on the game. Look for creative solutions. Stop adjusting the numbers, hoping it will fix everything with no real solutions and no new content. If you have the test server, make incremental changes, not drastic. Stop throwing stuff at the wall and see what sticks. You have a lot of experience to draw from. There have been countless of times where we get a change, it is clearly a bad change, and then there's the apology and we will do better in the future phrase. I could draw parallels to abusive relationships here, but I think it's kind of obvious by now. To close out, I just want to say, I know we are not entitled to the game that we want, but you are not entitled to our attention in the same way. It's a two-way street. If you change the game into something else, we will shift our attention somewhere else. SDF, thank you for Dark and Darker. Please don't take it away from us.
Yeah, who needs health anyways?